Physically, I think that as people get older, they become a little more sensitive to the environmental changes that might be happening around them. A good example of this would be if you asked a 60-year-old man to live in the life of a 21-year-old for a week, he would probably be exhausted at the end of it, right? There's a lot of things that environmentally younger bodies can do that older bodies can't, right? So that's kind of the physical component of that. The mental side of it then actually has almost the other side, where we tend to actually have our thoughts and behavior patterns and belief systems and things like that actually become a little more rigid.
I would say that people become wiser, that they become more world weary might not be the exact term to use, but they're not new to the game anymore. They've been around a long time, hence, why they're older.
I think you probably become more responsible. You've learned from your mistakes.
Your kind of imagination and creative freedom really kind of dwindles as you get older.
Well, I guess as we get older, we get more stuck in our ways. It's harder to learn new things, and unfortunately for a lot of people, memory starts to deteriorate.
What kind of society do we want to be? How do we decide on health costs? How do we decide on social care costs? If you have more social care, you have more people working in social care. If you have more people working in social care, they are probably female, they are probably young, they possibly work part-time. There's a whole sort of socio-political thing, that much to do with psychology, that will happen as you get an ageing population.
Possibly, I don't know. I think like the idea that people are living longer is always good, but then I suppose if there's like a lot of elderly people, then like that's more people that might have to be taken care of. Obviously not like every old person, but like there are like homes for elderly and stuff like that, and so that could be quite expensive and things.
Well, there's obviously the problem of a generation gap. So, for example, my grandmother wouldn't know how to use a laptop in a world that's dominated by technology nowadays. So there is always that risk. But of course, like I think every generation has a responsibility to stay in tune with every other.
Yeah, there would be serious implications. For example, there'd be less people in the workforce, so then there'd also have to be more welfare support.
Yes, because technology moves too quickly. I mean, I'm only 24 and it's moving a bit too fast for me now. So I can't imagine that if you've got a population which is majority over the age of 40, let's say, I don't think they could keep up.
I think a big thing we're going to see over the next few decades is the net generation and the pre-net, like the pre-World Wide Web generation. And there's going to be a phasing through there. And I think there's going to come a point where the generation who grew up with the web will be in their 50s, and then everyone 50 plus might feel very excluded because everyone below them, everyone younger than them has this whole different way of acting.
The psychologist's role in a lot of this stuff is awareness. Again, kind of just educating people along the lines of being aware that this difference is there can go a long way, I think, toward alleviating some of the tensions that are created by it. So I
think if you understand some more of the nature of human behaviour, you can then make more informed choices, and hopefully more choices that benefit society rather than sort of an individual.
Problems people face as they grow older, and I think a lot of research needs to be done, and it needs to start now, because in 20 years there are going to be so many people facing these problems, it will be too late to start. We need to start working on ways that we can help people cope with this. Also, I guess psychologists in advertising might be able to help change attitudes towards an aging population.